show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense, because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. As always, I want to start by giving a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. Whether you've been a member of the Uncommon Folk from day one or recently joined last week, I really appreciate all the love and all the support that you've given me. And for those who do not know, the Uncommon Folk is my name for my supporters. Also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, particularly Instagram and TikTok. Your continued support really touches my heart. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and all those who watch from the clouds, including my haters, which are basically secret fans of mine. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to subscribe, like, and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on playback. Now, also in the description, I also put down the link to my other channel, which is Latina Diaspora, of which we discuss issues pertaining to Latinos, particularly Latinos born and raised in the United States. So I'm going to ask you, please show some love. Check out my content and hit the like button and subscribe. So with that being said, as I stated last week, for the month of May, I'm going to be discussing topic pertaining to mental health issues. So tonight it's going to be another discussion regarding depression. I also will discuss it on my other channel, how depression affects Latinos. So before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. So today was my first day working remotely. Okay. So let me just give you a little background as far as how that came into being. My union, which is this is Council 37, as part of a contract agreement, made it possible that we created what's called a hybrid pilot schedule, meaning certain days of the week, selected employees will be working remotely on home using a laptop. and I will be done 1 or 2 days per week. So today was my first day, and I'm happy to say that I had no issues. I was able to log on remotely. I was also able to clock in remotely and clock out, and I was able to do my work um, with full access uh, to my programs and things of that databases which I need in order to do my job. And of course, being that I'm working remotely, I'm at the mercy of my internet service. In any case, I'm happy to say that I have no problem so far. Also, another benefit is that since I'm working remotely, I don't have to get up so early in the morning. Okay, and also I'm 2 days out of the week. I don't have to commute, which is a good thing. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to be talking about, there's been an lack of presence. Some of the YouTube creators which I've supported, um, I think it's basically the reason why certain YouTube creators don't produce content is that they have busy schedules. Okay, and one thing that people need to bear in mind, okay, it's not just simply going into StreamYard, creating a live stream, and just talking your head off. I mean, if you want to, I mean, there are people that can do that. But whenever I do prepare a live stream, I do have to do my research. I have to gather my facts and devote the time and study that I need to do so because I don't want to speculate. I don't want to give misleading information. I mean, I do try to keep it as accurate and truthful as possible. So hopefully, some of those YouTube creators which have been absent will make their presence felt. Even if it means not doing a live stream, maybe it's just me doing shorts or doing short videos, okay? Because realistically speaking, live streams do take a great deal of time and energy to produce, things of that nature. One thing I am pleased with the fact with the amount of growth that this channel has obtained, and of course, I give all the credit to my supporters uh, who week in and week out tune in to my content. Okay. Also, I'm trying some things differently. Okay. Um, One of the things I'm doing is trying to do come live later in the evening. Okay. So we will see how that goes. Good evening, Celine. Thank you very much for stopping by. The topic for okay. So let me just continue. Also, I'm going to be doing some other experimentation. I'm going to try to tweak this schedule a little bit because some weeks it get very big. Oh, she's just getting out of work. Okay. Normally I don't go live 9:30. It's just that due to the fact I'm working remotely, meaning that I can go on a later hour because I don't have to get up so early. Okay. So tomorrow, instead of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll be getting up at 7, and I can just dress anywhere I wish because I'm home. So that's one of the advantages, the advantages of working remotely. Of course, this Friday I will do my shout out to the moms. Okay, because we have to acknowledge the fact that the mothers, whether it be the biological mothers, the adopted mothers, uh, or just any um, lady that provides a positive motherly uh, image, we need to give them their flowers. And of course, Mother's Day is always bittersweet to those whose mothers have passed on. It's also bittersweet for those who are estranged from their mothers or live far from their mothers or things of that nature. So I would strongly recommend that if you're having issues with your mom, if you can, try to get those issues resolved, because once your mother is gone, there's no more opportunity for reconciliation, and there is a lifetime of guilt and regret for not taking advantage and not trying to resolve those issues. And also, just as a brief follow up, um, don't bear grudges. Okay, it doesn't help. First of all, it doesn't help you mentally, and basically, what you do when you bear a grudge, you're allowing the person who hurt you or offended you or betrayed you free, free, free women board on your mind. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. Now, with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. So, as I stated before, the main topic for tonight is, why are we depressed? Okay, so I'm going to be talking about depression. Okay, and the reason why we have to continue to discuss it is because that's an issue where people go through depression at various times. Just give me a moment. Okay. So, and there are many reasons why people are depressed. Okay. Okay. And the reason why, it could be many reasons why. It could be basically the ending of a romantic relationship. Also, also a death in the family. Also, losing your job. Also, dealing with with physical illnesses like diseases or things of that nature, and sometimes loneliness. There are many there are many factors to why people deal with depression. Okay, and unfortunately, depression, if left untreated, can lead to taking actions where you're thinking about deleting yourself, so to speak. Okay, and then thoughts where you're thinking, well, it's but you know life would be better if you're not around. As a person that has dealt with depression and have thoughts of self deletion, um, that's not a good path. And basically, what you're doing is, if you do decide to self delete, what you're doing is you're creating a lot of hurt with your loved ones, and then they gotta deal with the grief of you taking your decision to delete yourself. So what I'm gonna do is share my screen. Okay. And I'm going to discuss the causes of depression. Okay. Now, just give me a moment for my image. Okay. So here is the article, What Causes Depression? Okay. Now, depression is a complex disease. No one knows exactly what causes it, but it can happen for a variety of reasons. Some people have depressions during a serious medical illness. Others may have depression because of a big life change, such as a move or death of a loved one. Some people also have a family history of depression and may feel overwhelmed with sadness and loneliness for no known reason. Okay. Now we're going to deal with some of the causes regarding depression. One cause is abuse. Physical, sexual, or emotional abuse can make you more vulnerable to depression later in life. Another factor is age. If you're elderly, you are at a higher risk of depression, and factors such as living alone and lacking social support can add to the risk. Okay. Now, certain medications such as isotretinoin used to treat acne, the antiviral drug interferon, and corticosteroids can increase your risk of depression. Another factor is conflict. If you have frequent personal conflicts or disputes with family members or friends, it may make you biologically vulnerable to depression. Another factor is death or a loss. Sadness or grief after the death of or loss of a loved one, though natural, can increase your risk of depression. Now, here's something. Women are more than twice as likely as men to become depressed. No one sure why. The hormonal changes that women go through at different times of their lives may play a role. Genes. A family history of depression may increase the risk. It is thought that depression is a complex trait, meaning that there are probably many different genes, with each exerting small effects rather than a single gene leading to a disease risk. The genetics of depression, like most psychiatric disorders, is not as simple as purely genetic diseases such as Huntington's, chorea, or cystic fibrosis. Another factor is major events. Let me just make sure there's no one. Okay. Even good events such as starting a new job, graduating, or getting married can lead to depression. So, moving, losing a job or income, getting divorced, or retiring. However, the syndrome of clinical depression is never just a normal response to stressful life events. Okay. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. Now, before I forget, let me just remind people, okay, that Gigi has her platforms and she also have a membership. So what I'm going to ask, if you have not done so, is to please check out her content, subscribe, and take advantage of her membership. Okay. Good evening, Irby. How are you doing tonight? So tonight we're talking about depression. Okay. So right now, I'm talking about the causes of depression. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I mean, there are many. I mean, look, the problem with depression regarding men. Okay. See, the issue. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. See, the issue when it comes to men is that men are supposed to be stoic. Men are not supposed to let their emotions shown. So in some ways it's even harder for men when they deal with depression. Now, other personal problems such as social isolation due to other mental illness or being cast out of your family or social group can add to your risk for clinical depression. Another factor is serious illness. Sometimes depression happens along with a major illness, may be triggered by another medical condition. Okay. Also, substance misuse. Nearly 30% of the people with substance misuse problem also have a problem, major or clinical depression. Even if drugs or alcohol temporarily make you feel better, they will ultimately make you worsen your condition. Researchers have noted that the brains of people who have clinical depression differ from those who do not. For instance, the hippocampus, a small part of the brain that is vital to the storage of memories, appears to be smaller in some people with a history of depression than those who've never been depressed. A smaller hippocampus have fewer serotonin receptors. Serotonin is one of the main brain chemicals known as neurotransmitters. These chemicals also allow communications across circuits that connect the brain regions involved with processing emotions. I'm just going to jump up a little bit. So now I'm going to be talking about how genetics and depressions are linked. We know that depression can sometimes run in families. This suggests there's at least a partial genetic link to depression. Children, siblings, and parents of people with severe depression are more likely than the general population to have depression. Multiple gene interaction with one another in specific ways probably lead to various types of depression that runs in families. Yet, despite the evidence of a family risk to depression, it's unlikely that there's a single depression gene. Rather, many such genes, each with a small effect, contribute to the depression which they interact with the environment. Now, here's a listing of medications that can cause depression. Depression. Anticholinergics taken to relieve stomach cramping. Barbiturates. Benzodiazepines. Beta blockers. Blood pressure medication. Steroids. Gabapentin, an anticonvulsant. Isotretinoin, an acne drug. Opioids, codeine and morphine. Proton pump inhibitors such as omeprazole. Okay. Now, in some people, the chronic illness can cause depression. Chronic illness is one that lasts a very long time and usually cannot be cured completely. However, they can be controlled through diet, exercise, lifestyle habits, and certain medications. And here's our examples of chronic diseases that lead to depression. diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, kidney disease, HIV and AIDS, autoimmune disorders such as lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and psoriasis, multiple sclerosis, hypertension, cancer, epilepsy, stroke, and Alzheimer's, Parkinson, migraines. So it's a long list. Is depression linked to chronic pain? When pain lingers for weeks, for months, it's called chronic. Not only does chronic pain hurt, but it also disturbs your sleep, your ability to exercise and be active, your relationships, and your productivity. Chronic pain may also leave you to feeling sad, isolated, and depressed. Research is unsure how the link between chronic pain and depression works. They are investigating brain structures, neurotransmitters, and pathways for signaling. They aim to look for treatments that might improve depression linked to chronic pain. Okay. Now, the next thing is, does depression often occur with grief? Grief is a common normal response to loss. Losses may need to grieve include the death of a loved one, loss of a job, death or loss of a beloved pet. Any major life changes such as divorce, becoming an empty nester, or retirement can also cause grief. Now, grief and major depression can overlap, but there are some differences. Ways of feeling. If you're grieving, you'll probably have periods of intense sadness, but you also have positive memories. When you have major depression, your mood is almost always negative. Self-esteem. Grief doesn't usually affect your feelings of self-esteem. If you have major depression, you'll feel likely to worthless at times and experiencing self-loathing. Researchers know that a loss can lead to a bout of major depression. It may take more likely that you have an underlying mental health issue or you've gone through recent losses. And of course, it is a complicated condition. And what we're going to do is we're going to park it here. Yeah, let me just take care of some of these. Oh, you went on a job interview. I hope you got the position, Irby. Good luck to you. Oh, I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, we can be faced with depression for many ways and many situations. Like I said, some of the more common ways is deal with depression is when you have a loss, whether it be a loss of a loved one, loss of relationship, and okay. And I see we have our guests. So let me just state for the record that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views that people hold may not be agreeable with you. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel, and we will bring in our guests. Good evening, Gigi.
Hey Jose, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Cloud Gang and Replay Gang. Hit that like, leave a comment. It's free.
Exactly. So, I decided for this month that I'm going to be devoting some content regarding mental health issues, and tonight I'm talking about depression.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's kind of in your
because
lane anyways. You're pretty good at this lane.
well, I mean, first of all, I've dealt with it
Mhm.
personally. Okay, and there have been times I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100. There have been times when I had thoughts of self deletion, and thank goodness I'm still here.
You what?
I have I
Oh,
have I had thoughts
oh,
of
okay,
deleting
okay.
myself.
Mhm. I'm sorry to hear that.
But you know what? I'm a survivor, and I'm an overcomer. So
Absolutely.
I I'm able to discuss this without any self-loathing, anything of that nature. And of course, we have to admit we know people who deal with depression.
Yeah, and all the things that are wrong today can easily fix tomorrow. The storms come and go throughout life, and but if it's deeper, some sort of a
Sorry.
chemical imbalance or something like that, then everybody should seek help that has these issues, because sometimes it's just a matter like of medical issues, and you need like assistance for that. Hey,
Yes.
Ramon,
Uh, Good evening, Ramon.
Good evening, Don Jose. Good evening, Gigi. How you guys
how you
doing?
doing? Good to hear from you. I haven't seen you in a couple days.
I know I have been dealing with some personal BS, so that I really wasn't feeling like coming online for anything. So,
Oh, okay.
but on this one, because of the subject, I did wanted to kind of like chime in just a little bit because I have been dealing with a bit of a journey myself. As Jose knows, it's been just a little over 2 years since I lost my mom, and it's been like the most devastating thing that I've had to deal with in my whole life. And
Yeah.
so I may not have been diagnosed, but I think I may have had all of the markers or the usual symptoms of being depressed. I mean, the main one in my case, yes, like in the first few months, any time that I was by myself, I would start to cry. I would start to cry. The tears started to run out, even if I could stay quiet, but and silent, but still the tears were running down. And or after a while, it wasn't so much that, but I became more irritable. I mean, I wasn't having any patience. I didn't want anybody to tell me nothing. So it's like it manifests in different ways. It depends on the person. It depends on how different people cope with it, having significant loss. But yeah, I mean, being depressed sucks. Like I may have been there. It's just that in my case, it was never really diagnosed because I am too stubbornly proud to go to a psychologist or anything like that to have it diagnosed. But I may have had like the symptoms. What's up, Herbie?
Yes.
Yeah, but I
Well,
think that for those type of traumatic life experiences, it's normal, you know what I mean, to be
Hmm.
depressed.
yeah.
Yeah.
2020 was a particularly rough year for me because the beginning of the year I lost my oldest sister due to stage 4 lung cancer. And then during the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, uh, my mother passed away. So 2020 was extremely uh, painful time, and I was very close to my mom. And I needed to seek therapy to deal with all the mental trauma that I've gone through.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to hear about your sister. That part I didn't know. I know that your beloved mother is not on this world anymore. And of course, I can relate to the feeling that's what I was just saying. Uh, and I'm not really all the way out of it yet. I'm doing a little better.
It's very
I'm
traumatic
doing,
too to watch your loved one.
yeah, and I can't say that I'm completely out of it. I'm doing a little better. I'm doing a little better. I can still get a little bit irritable because I think about my mom every day, and I miss her so much, and that's never gonna go away. I have talked to people, to some of the guys that I know that are a little older than me, and their moms are also deceased, and tell them, and all of them told me the same thing. Tell me the same thing. You are never gonna completely get over it.
Mhm.
All of them, the guys that I work with, they tell me that their moms have passed, and all of them tell me the same thing. You are never really gonna get over it completely. A part of
Yeah.
you, is always gonna be dealing with it for the rest of your days, and that's what it looks like. Yeah,
I would agree with that. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, um, the fact that it really hit me very hard. And when it comes to Mother's Day, it gets it's very bittersweet because it just reminds me that my mom is not physically here with me, but um, she lives in my heart, and I try very hard to apply the life lessons that she imparted on me. And a huge part of the type of person I am is thanks to my mom.
yeah, yeah. And it just so happens you touching on this subject, Jose, is so timely because there is something that I want to share with you. I mean, a bit of a silver lining in all of it because of circumstance. I was talking with my sister, and because of something that had to do with my mom, she was telling me that we need to get in touch with our dad. We have been a bit estranged from our dad, um, because I mean, you know that I can be a bit of a jerk, and that I can be a little bit standoffish, and but the thing is that that's a strong character trait that I inherited from my dad, and to a great
You're
degree.
stubborn.
Yeah. When I am in my beliefs, of course I am. Of course I am.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm pushing. I'm
Mhm.
pushing 50. I'm pushing 50.
Is it
So
hard
that,
for you to put grudges to the side? Are you like one of those type of people that hold grudges?
yeah, that's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to,
Yeah.
and that's something that I had a chance to talk to my dad's wife, current wife, and she was telling me that all your dad and your sister, you are all alike in the fact that you can be very stubborn and holding grudges and always trying to go back to the past and things that happened in the past and trying to bring into the present and wanting to argue about it and having a problem with it, holding grudges, as you said. But it just
Mhm.
so happens, as Jose, that you are having this subject tonight. Earlier today, I was talking to my sister about something that we need to talk to our father about, our dad about, and she right now is not in speaking terms with him, and I wasn't either. Now, I did make contact with his wife because I can easily get in touch with her, and I got the number. I got the number for our dad because every once in a while he changes the numbers because whatever that has to do with his job, or he breaks the phone because he's older now, so he doesn't have a lot of patience for gadgets. And I called him up and I talked to him for about an hour, and it felt really good. I hadn't
Oh, that's so
spoken
good.
Yes.
Yeah, I hadn't spoken with him in a few years, and even long before my mom's passing, because my sister, a little over 2 years ago, when mom passed, she did get in touch with him, and told him about the service that we were gonna have for mom, but he didn't show up, and because it was too sudden for him and all, and that we both of us, my sister and I, both had a big problem with him for that, because one thing that he could have done was show up, but that was back on the island. um
Yeah.
but yeah, earlier today I had a chat with my dad, and it felt good. it felt very good. And the thing is that at first when I started talking with him, his
You sound
voice,
lighter.
yeah, his voice was actually something very gruff, very rough, and uh, very different. But as the minutes went by and I kept talking with him, his voice started to sound stronger, stronger, and kind of like a little bit louder and more hums to it. Like there was more life to it after I talking with him
Oh.
for a little over an hour. So I think that call made a difference for him too. And
Hmm.
one of the things, this is the part that really got me in the feels because and I was telling him, I was talking with him, and then I was telling him, look, uh, look, I appreciate you taking this call, and I know that we haven't talked in a long time. It's been a while that we haven't talked, and yeah, it's because of the things that have been happening that have happened in the past that I haven't talked to. But I do appreciate you taking my call. And he tells me, look, um, yes, yes, the things that have happened in the past, that have happened in the past. We have had our differences and our things, and I acknowledge it with him that we can be very stubborn for what I was just describing. That the way that we are, that we can hold grudges, and he understood and he accepted that, and he said, look, but I'm still your father, and if you need to call me, you call me up. You reach out to me. You have my number now, and if for some reason you can't reach me, you can just call my wife, and she'll make sure to get us in touch. So you call me up, and we'll talk, and we can try this. We can try this. Having a relationship. I know that we haven't had a relationship in a long time, but if we can try and have one now, let's do that. And
Well, mhm,
yeah,
yeah.
that really got to me, like got me in the feels because
Okay.
I was yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Ah. Well, actually, guys, last week, I actually had a discussion with my ex-wife, and we haven't
Mhm.
talked for over 10 years. Okay,
Mm.
because
Huh.
and
What does she want?
Eh?
okay, now let's not go there. Okay, we don't want to like prejudge or anything or come to
She
conclusions.
wanted to reminisce about something.
No, no, no. Actually, okay.
All right.
Actually, first of all, it was her sister that reached out to me first on Instagram, talking about that she wanted to ask for my forgiveness, that she couldn't, for lack of maturity, she couldn't, appreciate the type of person I was as a husband, because the fact of the matter is, and I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, but according to the family, I was a very good husband to my ex-wife. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that unfortunately she couldn't value it at the time to lack of maturity. And then she asked me if she can have a call me, and I said fine. However, if she's going to get into an argument, I would cut the call immediately, ASAP.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So she called me and then she basically apologized. And I said, well, first of all, I never felt that she was completely responsible for the divorce. She played a
Mhm.
role. I also play a role. And I've said this multiple times. And Gigi, I think you have heard me say this, okay? That we were both responsible for the marriage ending in divorce. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
of course, her sister wanted me to go over to her house for a meal. I didn't feel all that comfortable because it's like after 10 years, it's like, oh, there's something you're reaching out to me, whatever. And then talking about, well, unfortunately, I was supposedly misled by my mom with certain things. And then I just simply said, you know what? I understand she's your sister. I understand you're going to defend your sister. It's just that um, you have one version of what happened, and I'm just simply stating the facts. Okay. And I don't hold any grudges with my ex wife. If she wanted to visit me in the hospital once I had my
Hmm.
surgery, she can do so. The only problem is I've moved on. I've forgiven my ex wife. My siblings are not exactly in a forgiving mood. The last thing I want is to all get into an argument in the hospital because of stuff that happened 10 years or 11 years ago.
Hmm. Right. No, that's
Well,
not the
hopefully,
place
I
for
mean,
that.
everybody would have enough respect for you not to do that, considering you're in the hospital, you know.
Yeah, and and look, and one of the things that was discussed is it's possible that there'll be a reconciliation, and I said no, no. I mean, okay, I can
You
forgive.
know, they call that in modern times, Jose, circling the block.
Oh,
She try to circle the block on your ass, try to come back and see what's up.
oh, ooh. Yeah, trying to check availability. That kind of,
Okay, well, that train left the station way long time ago.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, well, you have to think about it this way. She never got something better than you. She never got somebody better than you. She might try to move on. Apparently, she couldn't. She couldn't
You'd
do
be
that too well.
surprised though, like people that like be divorced for many years and they end up, you know, spinning that block again and doing it over. People do it a lot.
Yeah, it happens. It happens because
Well,
that is that history. That is the history.
well, let me
Mhm.
put
Yeah,
it to
and
you
you know, I
this.
mean, it's probably some truth in what she said to you. She probably didn't. She probably was young and dumb and maybe wild, or who knows what she was, restless, and she probably didn't appreciate you. You know,
Yeah, but
or
let
you
me put
said
it
she used
this
to
way. For
accuse
me
you of a
going,
lot of stuff that you didn't do. Maybe now that time's
yeah,
passed, she's like, "Dang, he really was a good guy the whole time, and I was just being a headache." You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, maybe put it this way: the possibility of me going back to my ex-wife, it's more likelihood that Ramon will go to Times Square on New Year's Eve with shorts and go to
Hell to the
go.
no. No, no, not in the middle of that cold. No, I can't do it. I mean, I did visit Times Square, but it was in August, and that was nice. But because it was in August, I'm not doing that in no winter. Hell
Oh,
no.
come on now. Think. I mean, you just have to wear
Uh-uh.
a coat. That's all.
Nah, nah.
But Jose, I want to ask you, but did that conversation though maybe bring a little bit of closure and peace to you as well, or not really?
It did, and it did. And like I said before, I don't look. I don't bear a grudge. Okay. However, I'm being cautious because I really don't know what is their motives. Like I said, I don't want to like cast any aspersions.
I
It's
remember when
just
we were
that,
talking about this the other day, and when Irby had me dead when he said, what he said, be careful, she's coming for your benefits.
Oh, she's trying to find out if you're getting retired. You're gonna be retired. She wants to latch on to the. Oh shoot. Oh man. Yeah, let's hope that's not that's messed up. Yeah, it has to be
Sorry,
during
it
the
well,
was
summer.
just funny.
Yeah, it is. It is. No, it'll be. Yeah, during the summertime. During the summertime, Times Square, you see like every nationality that you can think of is gonna be there. People of every nationality that over in Times Square.
well, believe it or not, guys, my ex-wife is not the only ex that talked to me about getting back with me.
Mm? Oh, oh boy. Yeah, trying to get you in trouble.
And it's like,
Yeah,
no,
Well, you know how
see,
it
yeah.
goes.
Well,
They always
they
come back
better.
around.
Yeah, they better not trying to use you for a rebound or something.
no, no.
Yeah.
First of all, when it comes to my ex-wife, it's like, no. I mean, we can, you know, we can talk now on the telephone. We could be social. We might be even probably going to be friends. But for me to go back with my ex-wife, no.
Mm-hmm.
And as
Mm-hmm.
far as my other ex is concerned, she just admitted almost 25 years after the fact that she screwed up,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which is like, I'm glad that she did. I'm glad that she admitted it, but it's 25 years too late.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been too long. Been too long. Yeah. No, there's no
but
chance.
she did give you the validation that you were a good guy, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, like I said, look, like I said before, we were both responsible for the marriage ending up in the divorce, and that's something I said that all the time. I said it to her sister. I said it to my ex-wife. I have said it here numerous times, and it does that. And I spoke about it on Sunday. It's never good to hold a grudge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to do something really like bad to me for me to hold a grudge. Like I don't just because I'm a typically a very like forgiving person. So you got to like do something really to me. So if I got a grudge against you, then there might not be no coming back for you because that means you did something bad.
Yeah, and you know, and I stated before, forgiveness is that you reach the stage in your life when the hurt that you receive doesn't cause you pain to remember it, but it doesn't mean a restoration.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, but the fact of the matter is, there are many reasons that causes for depression, loneliness, isolation, disease, loss of a loved one, loss of employment, loss of a romantic relationship. I mean, if you are mentally strong, it will not affect you as much. But if you are mentally weak and then you go through all these situations, it can really have a devastating effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but
Love hurts sometimes.
yeah. And one thing people need to understand that there's no expiration date when it comes to grief.
Yeah. It's like what my guys were telling me. There is no yeah, they will agree with you. They will
Yeah,
agree with you because it's something that you deal with. You may be dealing with that for the rest of your days.
yeah,
It's not gonna go away completely. Yeah.
I do
exactly.
think that isolation tactic is really like a major one because if you don't have anybody to confide in or keep you company or just somebody you enjoy being around, that just compounds all that stress and pushes people further into depression.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. But the fact of the matter is, when you get to the point when you can acknowledge that you have a problem, that's half the battle right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
But okay, now this is what this is what I believe, and Gigi, you might disagree with me on with this statement, and that's perfectly fine. But I think in certain ways, it's rougher for men when we're dealing with depression because we are taught not to show our emotions. We are taught not to cry. We are taught to be stoic and just suck it up.
Yeah, yeah. That's generally that's a fairly universal thing that we're told because in certain situations, showing that vulnerability will lose your respect, and that's the last thing that we want to lose.
Yeah.
And sometimes certain people will tell you that it's okay to cry, and then use it against you. Not from experience. That's not something that is being said on no manosphere type of thing. I'm not part of that, but it's something that I learned from experience years ago. But I do think that we as men, we should be able to show it, but maybe to each other, kind of like somebody who is like a like a like a real solid person who is also a man or maybe a relative that you can trust that with.
I think it all depends on the opposite sex. If you're talking about saying a significant other
Hmm.
that encourages you to express yourself,
Hmm.
um, that's perfectly fine. Or your
Yeah, I can't
female,
debate that because I don't know what it is to be a man, so I definitely can't debate that.
Hmm.
But I can speak from a woman's perspective. I think that since men don't typically cry, when they do cry, we do take it serious and do care and have compassion. But there is truth in the fact that if you cry a lot as a man, then yes, a
Hmm.
woman is going to slowly, not respect you.
Yeah.
And as far as men having it harder, that might be true because, like you said, it has to be suppressed. But women are also very hormonal and a lot of times feel it a lot more. So, kind of think maybe
No, I get that part. I get that part.
yeah, I agree. And I think part of the problem is we don't fully understand things through a woman's perspective.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So, anyway.
you guys hear me.
I'm also going to be discussing the topic regarding depression on my other channel, which is Latina Diaspora, about how it affects the Latino community, because that's a
Hmm.
different. And it looks like we just lost Gigi. Okay, well, anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
Either she'll be back or she's gonna say something in the chat soon. Watch.
okay, actually, she's here. Whoop.
Yep.
Okay,
Just let me go. Yeah, we
okay,
can see you her.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. I guess the Wi-Fi had went out.
Yeah. I hear you.
yeah. But but the fact of the matter was, 2020, as far as mental health was, it was extremely brutal. Okay, first of all,
Hmm.
there was the isolation, particularly if we were an elderly person, like living alone or living in the nursing homes and things of that nature, and the fact that people were dealing with the loss of loved ones and things of that nature, losing their jobs and things of that nature, and also unfortunately there was an uptake as far as domestic violence is concerned.
Hmm. Right.
So, uh, Gigi, go ahead if you want to opine.
Yeah. Yeah. Chime in.
I was just listening, but
Oh, you got cut off for a moment. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
but
It's
I'm
just it's a struggle stream with me. Go
was
ahead.
there a question or
No,
what
I
was the
just
last
wanted
talking point?
I just wanted you to opine because I don't want to. I don't want us men dominating the conversation.
Oh no, no, it's fine. I have my days where I come up here and I'm a blabbermouth, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
Some days I come up and you guys can't shut me up, so
Yeah. All right. Well,
You know what,
you had your moments. Yeah.
I have my
Gigi?
moments for sure.
Hmm.
There are days I wouldn't even try to shut you up.
You just like let her just go or she's gonna throw her tantrum, right?
Well, I just simply wait until you stop talking. That's all.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of tired tonight too, so I'm just in chill mode.
Ah. All right.
Well, today
But
was
yeah,
the
this is
first.
an important issue though. A lot of people in the world are dealing with depression, and I guess for my part I didn't have like a lot of suffering during like COVID. Obviously I felt bad for like, everything that was going on, but I didn't like it didn't I knew like two people that passed away and they weren't like
Mm.
as close, but I still felt bad obviously, but you know what I mean? I didn't really have any like grief attached to COVID. So, but I see a
Yeah.
lot of people like I hear them talk on YouTube and they seem to have like a lot of trauma surrounding it. So I understand it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if maybe it's younger people that were forced to stay indoors, and that's not something that they were used to have to do. Now we're living in a time where a lot of people are more indoors than maybe a generation like mine, where when we were kids, we were always outside. Having to be in our rooms, it was a punishment. But yeah, yeah, people having to be forced to be indoors and not being able to do certain activities that they were used to do, and that isolation that really must have screwed up with many people that wa- weren't used to that. I mean, and that being mandatory, like, I can,
And
I
I
can.
also
Mhm.
I also lived in Florida too, so it was like we were like locked tight for like a short amount of time. There were like
Mhm.
some places where it was just like for like months and months and months and just ridiculousness, and so I didn't have that experience either, and that can feel like that would be traumatizing.
Yeah.
I had a friend on here, a YouTuber. Her name was Jillian. Her name is Jillian, and she's from Australia. And they had it the worst out of everybody. Like when we were like, everybody was like free across the world, and they were still locked down. Did you guys hear about that?
I heard
Australia
a
went
little
for a
bit.
long time. Hmm?
Yeah, I heard about it. I heard a little bit about what was happening in Australia, and yeah, in Australia
She
really had
literally
to
got a
deal with.
ticket. One night she was on
Mhm.
live stream and she got a ticket because she was out past the 9 o'clock curfew, and they had like little like it was just crazy over there. Like little places you had to walk, and it's just yeah, really crazy.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. That
Well,
that
I
that was
mean,
a mess. That was hardcore. Mhm.
here in New York, we had a curfew. We have to be indoors by 7 o'clock.
Oh, New
Mm.
York was
I
bad
don't
from what I
remember.
saw on the news.
Yeah, yeah. It's because there's so many people there. So many
Hmm.
people there living one on top of the other. So
Yeah.
it's really like a more of a breeding ground because so many people in so close proximity. I mean,
And then
thankfully,
the way that
when it
people were
comes.
turning on each other, like I seen
Mhm.
videos of them where they would try to go in the restaurant and they wouldn't let people in that weren't vaccinated, and then just the people would start fighting with them and everybody. It was just like y'all had a lot going on during like at the height of COVID in New York. They were definitely
Yeah,
forcing
Yeah.
y'all to get shots and stuff. There was a lot going on.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the fact of the
Thankfully
matter,
here.
there were municipal employees that got terminated for refusal to be vaccinated.
I
Yeah,
remember the
that's unfortunate.
teachers, yeah. Too. I remember the
And
teachers were
And
out there protesting.
yeah,
thankfully, we didn't really have that here in Texas. We did have to wear the masks, but
But
not
Texas and Florida, we were like on the same page though. We were rebelling all the way through it. So, it's a different experience than what Jose had.
yeah, yeah.
We were like
Yeah,
wild,
yeah.
wild west in it. We were what do they call it? Thinning the herd. Herd. What was it? The what was that? Where you just go against it and whoever dies, whoever makes it type shit. What's that called? The herd something?
The her
Survival of the
mentality.
fittest.
Huh?
Survival of the fittest, or
Well, no, they actually had a term for it though, where it was like, because this had never really happened, and people didn't know how to react to it. So some people just thought like, you just go up against it, and the people with the weaker, immune systems just,
oh, okay,
I don't know.
thinning out the herd. The herd you said.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the term for it. But I forget.
Oh, okay, okay,
But yeah,
okay.
it was something like that. I feel like that's what we pretty much did because everything just stayed open, and you would go places, and people were still all on top of each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was in
Mm-hmm.
Florida.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah.
still,
Well.
at least here for the most part, things kept going the same way. Maybe there will be certain places, certain private places where you had to wear a mask, but there were no requirements. No, when it came to the vaccine, I did had it. I had the one that was only one, but that was because I was gonna be traveling. That was in 2021. But that's the only one I had. There were people that had to get multiples. I feel for them.
Jose, I know that you had to get all of them things with your job, huh?
Oh yeah. Not only get the two doses, but I got at least two booster shots. I mean, it's like
No, I never took any boosters. There was
okay,
that one time. That was
okay,
it.
but Ramon, try to understand my perspective. First of all, I come from a family where like I lost four siblings prematurely because they didn't take proper care of their health. So basically, as
Right.
a precaution, I mean, it's just like, let me get this okay, and we just lost Gigi again. So I had to make sure I'm taken care of, and plus I had other outlying conditions such as, you know, which if I had COVID, it would have made my condition worse.
Mhm.
Gigi, the link to join the panel has been pinned. If you're able to hop back on, if not, I understand. But I mean, here in New York, it was like ridiculous. And then the lines to get vaccinated, particularly when the vaccine just came out, I mean, it was no joke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of them wouldn't have done it, but they had to. They had to. It was mandated. I feel for you guys.
And
I can
not
only
only
imagine
that,
how it was.
yeah, not only that, that led to a huge exodus of city employees that was like new retirement age. They figured, you know what, they're not going to deal with it. So they all decided en masse to retire.
Hmm. I can only imagine the vacuum that it created on your workforce, at least on your line of work.
Yeah. In fact, right now I'm looking into retirement because I'm getting close to retirement age. I mean,
Right.
I'm going to be 62 this October, which means I'll be eligible for Social Security at a reduced rate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
So,
Man. Well, make sure that you have. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. I think that you have talked about it, but make sure that you have something lined up for that because you don't wanna get bored. There are many people that retire, looking forward to retire, and they just get bored, eh, and
no,
that's
no,
actually not
I,
very good to
no, I
the
have
to the health.
no, I
Mhm.
have some things that I'm thinking about doing when I retire. Okay, so
Right.
I plan to be an active retirement life, and of course, in the summertime, I will get to visit the beautiful beaches of New York, like Orchard Beach and Coney Island.
I'm not getting into that with you because you know that's not true. You keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that, and you can't tell me that because I know that's not true. I know better.
Okay, I admit that it might be a little bit dirty in Orchard Beach, a little.
A little bit, a little bit. Ah, okay. Oh man. A
But
little bit. Okay. Whatever you say.
yeah, and of course, here in New York, we do have a slight rat problem.
Slight problem. Here we go again. Here we go
I mean,
again.
I have to admit, I did see one. I did see one rat in Rochester,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but no. But the fact that no. But as far as dealing with depression, I mean, first of all, um, it is treatable. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, there's some things you can do, like try to make sure that you get your rest, make sure you have a healthy diet, make sure that you walk, and try to seek professional help. Okay, to help deal with the issues with depression.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Definitely.
but
Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. All of us, all of us are kind of like on different levels in dealing with with dealing with that. I mean, I'm not just saying that because of my own personal loss. It's not about me because I know that there are others that have been dealing with that as yourself and some of our streaming friends. They have dealt with kind of like the same. I did a bit. I did a cast, a live stream a year ago. No, not a year ago. It was after the first month, one of my earlier streams, and in which I talked about it, and a couple of people joined me. I mean, like I think you and Teacher and Rakim, and because all of us have had lost like that main parent, that main figure, parent figure, and different people deal with that in different manners. And I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet dealing with my loss, with my loss, and
you know, okay,
uh,
but you know what? I think that's something we're going to be dealing with for the rest of our lives.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
we went
know,
over that definitely.
yeah, because look, you're never going to fully recover the loss of a parent, particularly a mom. What the best you can do is just that it is not as painful to remember.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
So, in fact, I'll be. No, I remember um, our friend Denise.
Mm-hmm.
She did a stream regarding mothers,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I have not watched it once since I have
Uh,
did it.
I can. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure as to why, and I don't know if I will check it out either. Uh, because it might make me. It might get into my feelings. Because of the subject. So I haven't checked that out either, and I can
Yeah,
understand why you haven't either. So I don't blame you.
yeah. I mean, look. I mean, maybe at some point I'll get to the point where I'll be able to watch it again. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
it's. I mean, it's too close to home.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
So, but
Yeah.
but on a happy note, it's 233 days until the first day of winter.
Ugh. No, that's not a happy note. That's not a happy note. I'm happier because it's warming up. It's warming up here, and that's good. That's a good thing. I like that.
I know, but we didn't have winter here in New York this year.
Well, that's not what I heard. That's not what I heard. I did hear that it got pretty cold.
20s is not cold.
Yes, it is.
No,
It is very cold. It's freezing.
no, no, no.
Freezing temperature. Talking about it isn't cold. Don't play with me.
Look, we did not have one day that the temperature reached single digits. Okay.
Well, that's good. We're
No,
not
that's
made to
not
be in
no, no, that's
temperature of
not
single digits. That's a good thing.
no, that's not a good thing. That's a depressing thing. I mean, look, you know how On a cold day, it puts a pep in my step.
Mm-hmm. It, it will put a weight on my step. That will be so heavy that trying to breathe that air, that overly dense cold air that is gonna make me sick. That will make me heavy in my step. So yeah, um, no, no, it doesn't work for me. I'm not made
I
for that.
mean, could you imagine if I had complete climate control worldwide?
Uh, Thankfully, you don't. Thankfully, you don't.
I mean, think about it. I would be a benevolent dictator.
Hmm. Okay. So you say. So you say.
Yeah. Well, no, but getting but no, but getting back to the topic of depression. I mean, like I said, there's many causes for depression, and if left untreated, can lead to very poor choices. Okay,
Mhm.
and it can lead to into even further uh, mental issues.
Mhm.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, Irby. It wouldn't be a bad thing if I had complete climate control.
No, nah, never mind. Don't, no, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah.
No, but it does affect those that have underlying mental issues as well. I mean, like for example, if you're already going through some mental trauma um, prior to say a death in the family, and then what it does, it makes it even worse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but
All right.
Ramon, when are you gonna air any content?
Uh, because of the BS that I've had to deal with lately, I haven't had it in my mind to do that. But there were a couple of things that I had an idea about talking about. So hopefully soon I do a live stream and touch on that. I did um, a short video on that. Fortunately, it has gotten some traction. Apparently, my little shorts do get a few views, and that's nice because I don't get much views in any other way. I mean, I'm not consistent like you, and that's on me. That's entirely on me. But yeah, yeah.
Well, last week I actually reached 90,000 views on my platform.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So,
That's good. That's good.
but
And
but
yeah, and don't
let's
sorry.
keep. Yeah, go
Uh-huh.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, nothing, nothing. What was it? What was it?
No, but let's keep it real. I mean, to produce content, it can be time consuming.
Mm-hmm. No, I know, I know. You have to dedicate time to that. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, today was the first day that I was working remotely from home.
you mentioned something. You say something about that. Uh, and yeah, I mean, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good that you don't have to go to the office and you can do it from home. Is especially for you because you have that surgery coming up, and at least you still are gonna be able to be productive to a great degree, and you still could get your rest and heal.
Yeah. And not only that, I don't have to get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Okay.
nice, nice.
So I
I
can
have,
actually,
I
I mean,
have.
I
I
mean, I
envy
can,
you. I wanna get something, some kind of remote job like yours, so I don't have to get up at 5 every day. That's my that's my story.
well, you can always relocate to New York and,
Mm.
and experience, remote working and, see the culture cultural things that we have to provide, and also take a look at our beautiful beaches as well.
Wow, wow. No offense, no offense, but you know how it is. After living in Texas all this time, I feel like if I go to New York, I'm gonna be losing my rights. So there is one particular right that I know that I will lose if I go to New York, and that will be the Second Amendment. I do practice that, and I
Yeah, that's
do.
going to be a problem.
Yeah, that one is gonna be a problem. I hate that you have those restrictions there. Still, I did read something that there are more people than ever that are actually applying for permits for permits to be able to have to own a firearm in their home, and for different permits and licenses that you have. That complicated. I don't know how it works up there, um, because for the most part we don't have to deal with none of that. uh, but a lot of people are actually applying for permits and licenses, which is a good thing. That is a good thing, because there was kind of like a repeal of that old law that you have in the state. It was actually repealed by the Supreme Court, which is actually, this is something that I give them credit for. And but the thing is that still the governor that you have still is, um cómo es que se dice? It's has every intention of making it difficult for people to be able to protect themselves. And another thing that I feel for you guys, because I visited New York, and contrary to what I thought, I actually found many nice people there.
You see?
Yeah, but it's just that New Yorkers do have a reputation. Do have a certain
Okay,
reputation.
but you know, if you really want to have an authentic New York experience, you need to
Mhm.
come to Times Square in the wintertime in New Year's Eve and
No
watch the
thanks.
drop,
No
or
thanks.
or get
I
on the
know.
su- or get on the subway. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Uh, or see any of our cultural areas. I mean, all the museums and things of that nature. If you really want to have an authentic New York experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to visiting again. I don't know when, but I would like to visit again because it was like a long weekend when I stayed there, so you barely say anything. So I would like to visit again. I hope it's not too long from now. But
Okay,
Jose,
well,
once again, thank you for letting me be on your panel. I'm gonna be taking my leave, and I'm going to make sure to let you know if I am gonna be doing a live stream of my own. I will make sure to let you know. Thank you for having me.
appreciate it.
So,
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you very
all right,
much.
have a good one.
You too. Take care. So, oh, before I forget, if you have not done so, I also going to check that you check out the intro Ridiculous content. He does have a lot of good content. He does. It's a little. He's not as consistent as I am, but then again, like I said before, um, it does take a great deal of time and energy to produce content. So what I'm going to do is, just give me a moment. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to share one more um, article, and then I'm going to call it a night. Okay, let's see. Just give me a moment. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share how to cope with depression, and then with that, I'm going to call that an evening. Okay. Okay, this. Okay. So I came across this article called 22 Ways to Cope with Your Depression. I don't think I'm going to go. Okay, I don't know. Well, I don't know if I'm going to go through all 22, but I'm definitely going to go through some of the. Okay. Whoops. Let's see if I can. Just give me a moment. Let's try this again. No, I'm just trying to share my screen. Let's try this again. Okay. Um, Hopefully the image will appear. Okay. Okay. I think I need, okay, here it is. 22 ways to cope with your depression. So what we're going to do is, okay, so we're just going to jump in with, okay, number one. Ramon had to leave. Meet yourself where you are. Depression affects millions of people, including some in your life. You may not realize that they face similar challenges, emotions, and obstacles. Being open, accepting, and loving towards yourself and what you're going through may help you navigate depression. Okay, oops. Okay, just give me a moment. No, that's no. Consider a walk around the block. Okay. On days you feel like you can't get out of bed, exercise and it seems like the last thing you want to do, but exercise and physical activity can help you reduce symptoms of depression and improve energy levels. Okay. Number three, know that today isn't indicative of tomorrow. Internal emotions and thoughts can change from day to day. Tracking experiences through journaling or keeping a mood diary can help you to remember this. Okay. Assess parts of the parts instead of generalizing the whole. The person can tinge recollections with difficult emotions. You might find yourself focusing on things that are unhelpful or perceived as difficult. Try to stop this overgeneralization. Push yourself to recognize the good. If it helps, write down what was the meaning about the event or the day. Do the opposite of what the depression voice suggests. The automatic unhelpful voice in your head may talk you out of self-help. But if you learn to recognize this voice, you can learn to work through it. Let me see. Okay. Set attainable goals. Instead of complying a long list of tasks, consider setting small goals. Setting and accomplishing these goals can provide a sense of control and accomplishment and help you with motivation. Okay, and here are some examples. Reward your efforts. All goals are worthy of recognition and all successes are worthy of celebration. When you achieve a goal, do your best to recognize it. Create a routine. If depression symptoms disrupt your daily routine, a gentle schedule may help you to feel in control. Do something you enjoy. Depression can push you to give in to your fatigue, may feel more powerful than preferred emotions. Try to push back and do something that you love, or something that's pleasurable or meaningful. Listen to music. I think that's self-explanatory. Spend time in nature. Time in nature can have a powerful influence in a person's mood. Research suggests that walks in nature can improve depressive symptoms with people with clinical depression. Spend time with loved ones. Depression can tempt you to isolate yourself and withdraw from people you love and trust, but face to face time can help wash away those tendencies. Express your feelings. Consider writing or journaling what you are experiencing. Then, with the feelings lift, write down about it too. Try something new entirely. When you do the same thing day after day, you use the same parts of your brain. Doing something new can feel rewarding and it can improve your overall well-being and strengthen your social relationships. Try volunteering. You can knock out a few birds with one stone, spending time with other people and doing something new by volunteering. You're giving your time to someone or someone else. Practice gratitude. When you do something you love or even something you find activity you enjoy, you may be able to benefit your mental health more by taking time to be thankful for it. Incorporate meditation. Stress and anxiety can prolong your depression symptoms. Finding relaxation techniques can help you to lower stress and invite more joy and balance into your life. And here are some examples of how you can meditate: meditation, yoga, deep breathing, and journaling. Eat well. I think that's self explanatory. Consider limiting drugs and alcohol. Substances such as drugs or alcohol can contribute to perpetuating feeling of sadness. On the other hand, people who live with addiction may experience symptoms of depression. Practice sleep hygiene. Sleep disturbances are common with depression. You may not sleep well or may sleep too much. Both can make depression symptoms worse. Aim for 8 hours of sleep per day. Try to get into a healthy sleeping routine. Accept the validity of your emotions. Suppressing and compartmentalizing your feelings may seem like a strategic way to cope with difficult symptoms of depression, but this technique is ultimately unhealthy and ineffective. And the last one, consider treatment. And now, well, we got a pocket here. Okay. So basically, what I did was I just gave you some examples of what you can do, um, to help, when you're dealing, how to cope with depression. Now, one thing, I have a routine where when I get ready to go to the bed and go to sleep, I'll listen to some soft, relaxing music, and usually that helps put my mind at ease. Okay, so let me just give you my take regarding this. I'm going to continue the topic tomorrow night, but it'll be on my other channel, which is Latina Diaspora, and it's going to be applicable regarding to Latinos. Depression is a serious illness. The fact of the matter is, left untreated can lead to other problems, and it will create a sense of hopelessness. However, it is treatable. You just have to acknowledge that you have a problem, and then hopefully you will implement some of the things that we discussed tonight to help you to deal with the topic of depression. Okay. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who were on the chat, and also a huge shout out who will be on the panel, um, Ramon and Gigi. Okay. So, so tomorrow I'm going to continue the discussion, but it's going to be focusing on how depression affects the Latino community, and with some of the elderly Latinos, it is a problem because of isolation, and also some of them may not be as open to dealing with seeking therapy and dealing with some of the coping mechanisms that was discussed tonight. But in any case, I really do appreciate all of you who either catch it live or catch it on the playback. Okay, and of course, all of you are more than welcome to opine after the stream your point of view. What I will ask is please keep it respectable, because if you do not, it will be blocked. It is that simple. And we can disagree, okay? But let us be agreeable when we disagree. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Okay. I'm going to be live tomorrow. Um, let's see. I'm probably going to go live at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Well, we'll see. And of course, by all means, if you have not done so, please consider subscribing to my channels and set the notification to all. So therefore, when I do produce content, you will be able to catch it live or catch it on the playback. With that being said, I'm going to close the same ways that I always close. We must do everything possible to minimize our presence with the mentally, intellectually challenged. Because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, saying good night, take care, and peace.
Ladies and gentlemen.